Hello, welcome pen friends. Welcome to day 24 of 30 Inks 30 Days. This is my color for today. It's Diamine Soft Mint. I don't really know how to classify it because to me it's not turquoise and it's sort of a blue-green, but it's a very interesting ink. The first thing that comes to mind is it's the first one that, or the second one that I chose out of ink samples that I had that weren't in, that was not in a ink flight or a series. So I thought to myself, well, gee, why did I pick this one? It's kind of light, you know, and you know how much I like saturated inks. But I think that was the whole point, was I was trying to figure out, can I write with this? Because I like the color. So we're going to find out. We're just marching right along here. Okay, here we are. And this is 68 GSM Tomoe River paper in a Bond travel gear notebook with a hard cover. And here it is, right here. So we've got it in a broad nib first. There seems to be wide availability on this. I got mine initially from Goulet Pens, and then someone sent me a sample and I combined them because I had mine so low I didn't have enough. So thank you, because hopefully you'll remember who sent it, because I don't right now and I couldn't find my notes. So I'd have to go through my pen pal letters. But I did find it widely available. I like the fact that you can get samples of this. That's really recommended. Anderson Pens had a 3mm for $1.25. That was cool. And I did notice, I mean, these are the size of the bottle, but this is not the ink. This is a different color. The 30mm bottle is one of my favorites, and that's what I like about Diamine, that they sell it in 30mm. Found that at Goulet Pens and over at Pen Chalet and probably lots of other places. These were the ones I wrote down for myself. Then here in the stub nib, which I love it, in the 1.5 Goulet stub, it just was really nice in that. 25 seconds to dry, because at 20 it was still smearing quite a bit. And it just, oh boy, it just really looked nice. And it has a little shading, but not a whole lot. But even up here in that broad nib, you can see there is subtle shading. It's just not enough to really, for me to make a big deal out of it. I'd have to see it in one of my other nibs that would show it off better. And here in the fine nib, I was very happy. It continued to do well in this, you know, as far as read back ability and everything. 16 seconds it was dry. Here's the very simple chromatography on it. It fled right up the strip, and then it just left a little crust at the top. My first impressions, this color just seemed to call out to me, even though it's lighter than what I would normally say I would be interested in. And I like it a lot, especially after getting to this point in this first page here. I realized this is nice, and it may be one of the few with lower saturations that I really like. Or I shouldn't even say saturation, with a shade that's so much lighter. Okay, so let's go ahead and push this aside and get the Rhodia paper. See how it did on there. Well, I'm in danger of dropping glasses. Here it's the Rhodia 80 GSM paper. Goodness. Dot grid paper. Oh wow, I failed to move my bookmark. This is what happens. Okay, and here it is. I thought it did well. Well, all the way around on here. I did prefer it on the Tomoe River paper, but I didn't have any trouble with dragging or dryness or it feeling bad or anything. So it took about 27 seconds in the broad nib to dry. And then in the Goulet stub, the 1.5, it was dry at 25, and I'll take it. That sounds good. I enjoyed practicing just a little bit with that nib too. I mean, I was seeing some very subtle shading there, but nothing really drastic. And then in the fine nib, yes, it does drop down quite a bit even maybe changes the tone a little, but I still liked it. 15 seconds to dry. I said I prefer the fine nib on Tomoe River paper, but it's okay on Rhodia. Flow is good. Okay, so that's good. Those kinds of notes will help me later on when I'm deciding what to ink up. which pens and how to go with things. Okay, this is the CVS caliber paper, inexpensive paper. I had moved that. Here we go. I liked how it looked there. That's nice. I painted that in because I didn't want to deplete the serendipity of its nice. It was right at that perfect spot to write with. 25 seconds to dry. Then in the stub nib, it was taking just a little bit more than 30 seconds. That's odd. Who knows? I may be getting a little bit of uneven feed or flow with that pen, but it's very nice. I've written multiple pen pal letters, and I wouldn't be able to tolerate it if it wasn't working reasonably well. And then this is the fine nib. I didn't like the Lamy fine nib on the CVS paper. Some people probably would, though. It wasn't like it was nails on a chalkboard. It just weakened the color just enough more that I didn't like it. Okay, let's see. On the back, we only have just a little bit of shadowing, not much. Let's see. Yeah, barely anything, really. Okay, and then on the back of the Rhodia, we're going to have to look back on Golden Gazette to see that. But it's really, really good paper, and nothing happened there that bothered me. Let's see, and here, okay, we've got a bunch of strips that kind of interfere, but there's hardly any shadowing even, really. Let's see, we can really see down here, and if I press it closed, yeah, you can just see the normal shadowing that you'll get. Okay, so let's jump in and take a look at that bath test on this ink. It's very typical. It disappeared basically. I can see a little tiny bit left over, but wow, it's totally typical. And then for yesterday, for our beautiful yellow that we had yesterday, which is this one, don't just regard this because this was just a comparison, so it's over here. That got an A in the clean out. I had a little bit of a fright because I got to the sink and I pulled the Lamy to clean it, and I could just see the whole like feed section, and the whole section looked kind of funny, but it cleaned right out, so I didn't have any problems. I thought I was gonna, but there were no problems, so wanted to let you know that. Okay, and we might as well peek on this little ink splatter. Oh, I love doing this. I'm just addicted to this. Yeah, it was really pretty. It's very subtle, very kind of, you know, a little bit light, but I love it. I just love it. So let's get into the comparisons, because that's where it gets so interesting. See, I don't want to close that in there. I believe it's dry, but who knows? All right, let's get that panel. We got a little bit of a discombobulation, but I'll fix that here real quick. Okay, so here we are, and we need to get our ink of the day back on here. Right in the middle. Okay. Are we reasonable? Okay, so you could tell there was a problem trying to find anything that really looked like this, but we've got some comparables here. Interestingly, right next to it, I put Birmingham Summer Jade, because I think of that as a green. Sort of a green, but boy, did it make me think of that ink. It's close in a way that is confusing. Same thing with Diatramentis Mint Turquoise. Whoops. Oh! Technical difficulties. My microphone cover fell off. I hope that isn't going to cause any problem, but oh dear. I apologize in advance if it does. Yeah, I thought that was really close. Maybe the closest that there is. And then, of course, I'm influenced by the name, Mint Turquoise. So, but yeah, that is similar. I probably should have put it over here. Don't remember what the idea was. And then Sitz Krusnock Palm Green is green, but it certainly made me think of this ink. And that could be another reason why I like it. You know, it's in that family. And then Robert Oster Tranquility is one of my very favorites. It's up here. Gosh, I'm almost cutting off that color, but well, we want to be able to read our color names. So it's darker, so much darker, but it's like, it seems to be sliding darker of that same family. At least it's complementary, I think. And then Diamine Steel Blue, that made me look, but we're really into a teal, I think. You know, it changes. Everything kind of changes. And down here, we've got these blues that are the kind of more subtle blues that I love. Diamine Marine, which is definitely, you can see the difference. There is a big difference between these two. And that's where you start to, your eyes can pick up the green in the mint better when you see it compared with this, I think. Definitely interesting. I saw somebody posted on Instagram, I think it was today or yesterday, these two in swatch forms, and I thought, wow, yeah, they really are different. And yet they make you think of each other for some reason. That, of course, same company. Okay, J. Arbonne Blue Callan Q. I remember really liking this one. It just doesn't look like soft mint, though. And I also liked J. Arbonne Encre Classic Turquoise. Very nice. Now, I did pull out a few more colors just to look at. I thought it would be worth it to look at Birmingham Thomas Mellon Evergreen. I just felt like, well, if you'd like to go darker, there you go. That is darker, and there's a lot going on there. I thought that was really interesting. What else do I have? Oh, okay, here's one that I kept taking on and off of the panel because this is Diatramentus Petrol, and I like this ink. It's pretty. Certainly, it's darker, and it appears greener to me. You know, it's up there with Tranquility almost. Not quite, but I don't know. I really like that ink. I've never gone past sample with it, but still I like it. And then Robert Oster Opal Green. Well, that one and this Jade competed for a spot on the panel, and I really felt that Birmingham Summer Jade was more reminiscent of soft mint. So, looking at that here now, I still feel the same way, but I thought I'd get that out because that made me think of it. Okay, well, Diamine Aurora Borealis. Now that's interesting because it's just so saturated. So much darker. It definitely compares better with Robert Oster Tranquility up there. But I still wanted to see it with these inks, especially with soft mint, just to compare. Oh, here's one. This is another one that I kept taking off the panel. Three Oysters, we'll call it Jade. Green is coming through. And yet it's that subtle color. Kind of reminds me of this Jade one only. It's just different. It definitely is a more of a green. So, there we have it. I hope that was useful. It is sometimes difficult to locate where an ink falls in the spectrum. So, I do everything I can to help myself see what I already have and what's going on. So, let's talk about what I thought about the ink. Okay. This is the little booklet, pocket size. 3.5 by 5.5 by the Pen Thing Ink Swatch Plot Log. So here we go. I put nice, pleasing color, nice flow. Yep, still grappling with how to rate things. Sometimes I even rate things wrong because I'll give it a high mark for something that is negative. So, oh my goodness, who knows? So it doesn't really matter. This is just a good practice for me to begin realizing what I don't know. Saturation, I gave it kind of right in the middle because I really didn't feel like it was weak. It's just a lighter color, that's all. Flow, I gave it a great mark, right, almost an 8, because that comes out of the pens really well. Even that Lamy Fine Nib. The shading, I couldn't make up my mind between 4 and 5 because I was seeing it and I liked it, but it was subtle. But probably 4 is probably better. If 5 is just shading is present and it's good but not great, then I guess it would be 4. Dry time, I thought it was right in the middle somewhere, kind of average. And then I didn't see any of these things. And then I gave it an overall 7 for beauty, price, and color. You know, it's available, the price is right, you can buy big samples or a small bottle, like the 30 ml. And so I'm really enthused about an ink like that. I found my little rubber band that came with this booklet too. So let's see if we can try something a little different today. I'm going to do the visual journal, but I wanted to show you as I was, you know, getting this ink out today, I thought, well, that looks neat with the yesterday's color. So why not try something like that in the visual journal? You know, it may be a complete bomb, but it's going to be fun to try it, I think. And this is the water. It's kind of weak, but it's there. Very interesting. Okay, and so we've got both colors. We better give this one a little container. This is yesterday's, the Golden Gazette, and today's the Soft Mint. So I need pen, couple of paintbrushes. I may need more than one paintbrush today because I may want to detail with yesterday's, and I'm not sure. But this is going to be my starter paintbrush, and I might want the water brush. So here we go. I'm thinking, yeah, I want the upstairs anyway to be blue because I want a little sky there. And then I'm thinking that maybe, well, we'll see. In the mind, it looks different than it does when you get in the visual journal. My mind is a scary place to be sometimes. Okay, so I do want to kind of focus on the top part as sky. Oh my, that really acts funny. It's very movable, isn't it? Ooh, it just goes to town. All right, we don't want to go too crazy there. Put some of that ink back. That's pretty ink. Okay, but that's where this comes in. I had the idea, I thought maybe I would try for a line with this little paintbrush, just for the heck of it. Okay, and then we may even just, well, that's not a very big brush, but oh, look at that. It just takes over the scene there. That's all right, though. Oh, look at what we've done. We've made some green in the middle. We've got yellow and blue. Make green. How fun. Okay, I might even put another little bit up there just to get some more of that. That's neat. Oh, wow. I didn't expect this, but I like it. Now, what next? What have we got? Okay, I've got blue in the pen. Oh my goodness, that's kind of neat. Are you seeing that? I think this is what I need to do from now on, get a couple colors out, especially when I know that my color of the day is going to stay in one range and not have two or three, because I like the complex inks. Huh, this is cool. Now, I have to remember not to try to force things to happen, just okay, that's a little bit less. Huh, oh my goodness. This is what happens though. I see something I like and then I want to stop because I don't want to ruin it. But there's no ruining. This is just a journal, like an art journal. Oh my goodness. It's exciting what this ink is doing. I mean, I'm just so happy there's some left. Now there's a little more than a mil left. Okay, let's do the bottom part, the downstairs or the foreground or whatever. Okay, on that, I think I want the broad nib because I want to bring some blue down or green or whatever we get. Oh, this is fun. Huh. There's just something now. I didn't expect what's happening up there with that blue, with that part there. And I like that. It's taken me by surprise here. Kind of like when that happens. Because a lot of times they can look the same every day and that's boring. But huh. Okay, well, let's see what happens with our other color. Give it a little more too. No, I do like this little detail one is cool because then I won't get too carried away. We know we're going to get highlighter yellow coming out. So wherever we put this. But if it just tints it, it's different. Okay. I'm trying not to rock that around because I'd like that to dry the way it is. I like it a lot. Huh. Okay, I've kept you long enough, that's for sure. Let's, well, I'm going to let that dry though. I like it. I'm happy with it. So I'm going to try to take it flat the way it is right over so it can dry. And then we can look at what's for tomorrow, because this wasn't, today's ink wasn't a very fall color. And I thought to myself, gee, what was I thinking when I was picking these colors? But I'm still super happy we did this one. But tomorrow's, I think, is a fall color because it is the J. Arbonne Lee de Tay. And it's brown, and it will be super, I think. I'm looking forward to it. I have a little bottle of it. I'll show you that tomorrow. And it's a tiny little, I think it's 10 mil, I'm not sure. I'll have to look at it to even see. But this I've been looking forward to spending some time with for a long time, and I think it does qualify as a fall color. So looking forward to that. So what did you think of today's? And did it change your mind when you saw what it did on the visual journal? That was really neat. It gives it lots and lots of art implications. And then I liked how these two colors went together. Just amazing. So let me know what you thought, and I'm going to go, oh, it looks like there's writing in there, but there isn't. That's just kind of a texture. Huh! Isn't that interesting? Anyway, I'd love to hear what you think, any thoughts you have, and I'm going to go finish my day. We're hoping to get out of the house. It's been, torrential rains off and on, but it looks like it's calmed down, so it may happen. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now.